Welcome again. Today we're going to be doing 2-digit by 2-digit in the mental math form. So these are for the more advanced students who absolutely 100% have all the multiplication tables memorized from 1 to 9, and they're capable of keeping numbers in their head long enough to do some serious mental math. It is not recommended for everyone. However, some students may prefer this method because it's a lot faster. Now, over here, this was in my last lesson on 2-digit by 2-digit math using the expanded form. So, as we can see, all the expanded form methods are right here. So, it's a 4-step process, but it's going to arrive at the answer of 1,975. And the question is 79 times 25. So, over here we break it down. We have 5 times 9, 45. We have 5 times 70, which is 350. 20 times 9, which is 180. Then we have 70 times 20, 20 times 70, which equals 1,400 over here. And we get our final answer. So that's the long method. It is much easier to do all the calculations, and it takes away the mental math component. Now, the mental math way is actually going to reduce this to 2 steps. So it's going to be a lot quicker. But again, you must be able to do your multiplication table from 1 to 9, and you have to be able to do that while adding at the same time. So if you're not capable of doing this, go back to the normal method. It may be longer, but you know what? You're going to be right. And it takes away more of the human error that you could have in your head and less confusion. So, in our heads, this is going to be a much quicker. We already know it. It's going to be the same method as before. We always start with the ones column. So we have 5 times 9, and right away we're going to add the 5. We're not going to put the 45 because we're going to keep that in our head. So think in our head, in our little dot over here, that we have 4. Okay? Now we're going to be going across, and we're doing 5 times 7, and we need to add that 4. So in your head, you're thinking, what is 7 or 5 times 7 plus 4? Okay? So 5 times 7 plus 4 is 35 plus 4, which is 39. And you can now add your 39 to this question. So step 1 is now complete. 395. And now you're going to see, if we take a look back at the other question, we have 45 plus 350. What this does is it reduces the first step. So just like before, we did 5 times 9 and 5 times 70. Now if we add these together, what's 45 plus 350? It's 395. And if we take a look over here, we already did those 2 steps in one. We have 395. So essentially, we've made it quicker. We've reduced 1 step. Now, over here, we have to go into the second step. The first thing you're going to do is put a 0 under the 5. Now, why would you put a 0 under the 5? It is because our next set of multiplications is going to be done with 20 all the time. So we're going to be doing 20 times 9 and 20 times 7. And if we're multiplying by 20, we know that the last number is going to be 0. So nothing can be placed in the ones column except for a 0. So we could just automatically put this under the 5 and leave it there. And we could do the exact same thing as we did in step 1. Now we're just doing it after the 0. So what's 2 times 9? It is 18. We're only putting the 8, and we're going to keep the 1 in our head. So over here in our head, we're thinking we have a 1 over here, because the next question we have to do is 2 times 7 plus 1. So you got to think about that in your head. What is 2 times 7 plus 1? And 2 times 7 is 14. You add 1, and you get 15. And now you can place the 15. Then we're going to add it. And once again, if we take a look at the next 2 steps before that we did in the expanded form, We have 180. 20 times 9 is 180. 20 times 70 is 1,400. What is 180 plus 1,400? It is 1,580. So as you can see, we've reduced one of the steps because all we've done is taken these two steps and done it in our head. Alright? Now we could add everything together. So we have 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry the 1. We have 3 plus 5 plus 1 is 9. And then the 1 is nothing. And we have 1,975. And take a look at our answers. They are exactly the same. All we've done in the mental math method is cut your steps out by half by understanding the multiplication process. If you're capable of doing this, by all means go ahead and do it. Remember, this is what we have to do in our head. 5 times 7 plus 4. Not all students are capable of doing this. 2 times 7 plus 1. If it is too much for you, go back to the other method. It's longer by only 2 steps, but yet very, very simple, and we'll arrive at the same answer. Either way is perfectly fine.